All right, quick check over what we learned yesterday. What did we learn yesterday? Brayden.
What happens when you add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers?
Okay, but we focused on adding yesterday. Yep, we focused on adding different signs and same signs yesterday. So let's review that. When you add two negatives together, what do you get?
A negative.
A negative. Negative 4 plus a negative 3?
Negative 7.
Negative 7. What happens when you add different signs?
It's negative.
Because you look at the bigger number. What's the bigger number in this case?
6.
What's the sign?
6.
Negative?
4.
6 is the bigger number. And then it's negative. So now take those two numbers and subtract them. 6 minus 2. 4. Okay, on this one, which number is the bigger number? 20. 20 sign is positive. So now just subtract them. 20
6.
minus 14 is 6. Good. What happens when you have three numbers?
You do left to right.
Left to right. Do the first two first. Negative 1 plus 4.
3.
It's 3. Now do 3 plus a negative 12.
Negative 9.
It is negative 9.
Wait.
Good.
What's negative 8?
On 5, let's work left to right. Okay, so we have 10 plus 18.
18.
8? You mean 8?
10 plus 8, you get 18. So now you have 18 plus a negative 8.
8, 10.
10. Are we okay with those?
Yes.
Okay, let's look at this word problem. A kite is 68 feet in the air. How can we write that as an integer?
Positive 68.
Positive 68, good. It descends 23 feet. What does that mean?
Negative 23.
Yep,
But
minus
you do
23.
plus.
You're right. Plus a negative 23. Okay, so 68 plus a negative 23
45.
is positive 45.
Wait, so we have to answer it?
We good about yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Today, moving on, is very similar stuff. So, again, what happens when we add, subtract, multiply, divide integers? You get another integer, okay? Today, we're focusing on subtracting integers, okay? We're going to subtract integers, and we're also going to find the distance on a number line. Vocabulary. Can anyone tell me what inductive reasoning means?
Wait.
It doesn't. You can explain it either math related or not math related.
Inductive? It's not about it.
What does reasoning mean? Giving a reason of something, okay? So inductive reasoning means going into detail about something, explaining why something is the way it is. Okay? So if, say you're in Miss Phillips' class and you're explaining your hypothesis to a problem, okay? You're using inductive reasoning when you're explaining that to somebody else, okay? So that's what we're going to do here. Okay, key concept number 1. We're going to subtract integers today. Yesterday we added, today we're going to subtract. So to subtract an integer, we're going to add its inverse. What's inverse? Opposite. Inverse is opposite, okay? So yesterday we saw a lot of this, right? 2 plus a negative number. We saw a lot of that. This means the same thing as 2 minus 7. Okay, they mean the same exact thing. Okay, so 2 minus 7 is the same thing as 2 plus a negative 7. So instead of saying 2 plus a negative 7, you can just say 2 minus 7. So let's look at some problems here. So we have 6 minus 15. Let's think about how we did it yesterday. Which number is bigger?
15.
15, what's its sign? Negative.
That's positive.
That's negative.
It's 6 minus positive.
Negative. Okay, what's a different, start here. What's a different way I can write that? 6 minus 15, Brayden.
6 plus 15.
6 plus
Negative 15.
negative 15, right?
Hey, I have a thing. Keep, change, repeat.
Okay, I've heard that too. Keep, change, flip.
Opposite.
Keep, change, flip. Yep, so you keep the first one,
Uh-huh.
flip the sign, and then, sorry, change the sign, flip the second number. Okay? Which number is bigger?
Negative
15, so it's going to be negative. Now subtract two numbers. 15 minus 6.
That would be 9.
9. Negative 9. Negative 7 minus 8. What's another way I can write that? Brayden.
Negative 7 plus negative 8.
Plus a negative 8. Good. Okay. Which number's bigger? First of all, does it matter? Because what are both of those numbers? So if you subtract or add numbers that are both negative, you're going to get a negative number. So you got negative, so now 7 plus 8, negative 15. Nice job. Okay. Moving on to the next one. 9 minus 14. Keep, change, flip. Let's do it that way, since some of you know that way. So keep the first number, change the sign, flip the second number. So now what number's bigger? Think about yesterday, Brayden.
14.
14, what's the sign?
Oh, negative.
Negative. So now do 14 minus 9 is 5. Good. Negative 10 minus 8. What's a different way I can write that, Robert? What's a different way I can write that second one?
Put negative 10 plus negative 8.
Good. Plus negative 8. What do you get for that one, Robert?
Negative 18.
It is negative 18. Does everyone agree? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Here, what do we notice? There's two negative signs, right? Because we're used to having plus a negative, now we have minus a negative. So we can do the keep, change, flip. Let's do that first, and then I'll show you a little trick. So we keep 9. We change that subtraction to a minus sign, and we flip to the opposite of the second number. So we have 9 plus 2, which is
9, 10,
11.
9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11. 11, okay? Also, does anyone know a trick I'm about to show you?
Nope.
Yeah?
What?
Fish method. Fishy method.
I don't know.
When you have two negative numbers, what do two negatives make?
Positive.
Positive. So these two negatives right here can make a positive sign, plus sign. You're going to get the same thing, okay? So if we did 3 plus 5, those two negatives signs make a positive right in the middle. Okay, so you can think about it like that too. So you have 3 plus 5 and you get
3 plus 5
8.
is 8. Nice.
Let's go!
I forgot.
So here, what's another way I can write 15 minus a negative 4? What's another way I can write that, Nick? What's another way I can write this one up here? Not minus.
Positive. And
15 plus 4.
There you go. 15 plus 4 gives you 19. So on this next one, negative 11 minus a negative 7.
Yeah.
I know.
McKinley, what's another way I can write that?
Negative 11 plus 7.
You got it. What's negative 11 plus 7?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Nice job. Negative 4. Does anybody have any questions over that?
no.
No? Okay. Now we're going to talk about finding the distance between numbers on the number line. Okay? I'm going to be over here. I'll use this number line so people on here can see me. Okay? It wants to know the distance between 3 and negative 3. So all you have to do is just count in between. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I already know it.
So you can count it. So our answer is 6 in this case. But a way you can do it, because there's some numbers that don't fit on the number line on your worksheet. Okay? So you do the absolute value of those numbers. So you do the absolute value of 3 minus that second number. You do that. So what's 3? And then this turns into 3 plus 3, right? What's 3 plus 3?
6.
What's the absolute value of 6?
6.
6. So you can do it that way too if you don't want to count it. Yes.
You can just like add both of them together.
Yep, that's pretty much what we're doing right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Good job. So on this one, instead of counting, you can count it. How can I do it using math?
14.
How do I set it up?
8 plus 8.
You can draw the number line. What about using absolute values?
You subtract.
Set it up. Subtract them. Yep. So set up the absolute value. So you have 7 minus that second number. 7 minus negative 7. Both in absolute values. What does that turn into?
7 plus 7.
7 plus 7 is?
14.
What's the absolute value of 14?
14.
Again, what does absolute value mean?
The distance from 0
Distance from 0. Nice job.
I did it.
Okay. Finding distance on number lines.
Yeah.
Use that absolute value thing to help you out. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we okay with? All right, some word problems. The top of an iceberg is 15 feet above sea level. How can I write that as an integer? Positive 15. That's what they got here. Okay, so now how do you get from the top to the bottom of an iceberg? What operation should I do?
Line.
Subtract, right? That's where they get this. They're going from top to bottom, and it says the bottom is all the way 100 feet below sea level. How can I write that? Negative 105. Okay, that's how they got that, and they're using that absolute value to find the distance. Okay, so setting up that problem, try it on this one. Okay, it says the top of this iceberg is 13 feet above sea level. How can I write that?
Positive 13.
Positive 13. Okay, now we're going to the bottom. Minus, and it says the bottom is 117 feet below sea level.
Oh, so negative.
Negative.
So it should be negative 117. And then put that in absolute value. Why do we need to have the absolute value?
So we can find like the distances. So you can get the absolute value.
Right. And if we did it without the absolute value, what happened if we get a negative sign? Is there a such thing as negative distance?
No.
No. Okay, so distance always needs to be positive, okay? So, what does this turn into? What does this equation turn into?
13 plus 117.
Yep, what is 13 plus 117?
130.
It is 130. What's the absolute value of 130?
130.
Nice. Any questions over what we did today?
No.
No? Good? Okay.